Okay, perfect. I can park forward, which is always awesome. Hello, I'm Danielle. No I in Danielle. I am a semi-retired nurse. I'm currently working in the spaces of public health, CPR training in the hospital space, and retail inventory. And one thing that we did talk about in an investment club, I watched this video on AARP and it talks about romance frauds, and I actually sent it to everyone in an investment club and we talked about it. It was this lady, it was a black woman, and she lost like $906,000 in her brokerage account, whatever, retirement account, to a scam. Gave it to this person, and she thought that they were in love with her. She done sent this person she never met over $900,000. Plus, because she drew down the money, she owed like $59,000 in back taxes. I just, and we were talking about it. Some of the people had not watched it, and then some people watched it and said, "Oh my goodness." I said, I watched it more than once. I wanted to get that in my spirit. I know it's not won't help anything, but I really feel bad for that lady. But you have to be so careful. She was so brave to tell her story. But she's at the time of the filming, she was 59, and I know a good chance she's in her 60s right now. So you're looking at someone, that's a life savings. See how you have lost what would have been your retirement account. And now she's going to have to work some more for a while. Now, I'll talk a little bit about my income sources. My primary ones. Of course, I have an LLC. But at this point, the main reason I get that is if I do any CPR or first aid or BLS training. That's the main reason I have it. Or if my kids would like to branch out and do that, it's just something like the business is set up. I hire them, pay them like that. That's something that they could do. That's not a major source of income, but I am bringing that up. So the major sources of income I have right now: pension. I have two modest pensions. One I got from K through 12 and one I got from when I worked public health in California. And then the next source is the Social Security survivor benefit. And then the next source is I have some corporate bonds, and I get a splash of money here and there, splash of money here and there. My stock stuff, I'm not using that as income source right now. I'm still in the accumulation phase with stocks and mutual funds. So that's something in different accounts, okay? And of course, when it gets to working jobs, I have my public health contract job that I do once a week. I have my hospital job where I do primarily infant CPR training, friends and family, but I also do infant, child, and adult CPR training, friends and family. There might be some other opportunities. I've spoken to someone at the hospital. I won't get into that until it comes into fruition, but it's an opportunity to also do some CPR stuff. And then finally, I'm doing the retail job. So let me start that again. Public health once a week, hospital job doing the CPR training once a week, and retail where I do inventory. Right now it's going on once a week on one particular day, but that can change. At some point, it's a good chance it won't be every week because the supplies change. Right now, it's happening every week because someone is on leave, and I could also see during the holiday season, it could be once a week, but that isn't always once a week. So that's pretty much how my income is going. When you decide, well, I'm going to go ahead and retire, or I'm going to semi-retire, it's very important to do some exit planning. In my case, the reason that I exit plan sooner than when I was 62 is because the K through 12 job was very toxic. It was just toxic. So at some point, I got the money and put it into money market, even though it was a 403B. I said, okay, that money's there. It was still getting some monthly interest, and I knew that it would be there. Of course, because I wasn't rolling it all, I had to prepay taxes. That was a big thing. I prepaid taxes to make sure I didn't have any end up owing a bunch of money. The next thing I did was some of the money I used to purchase corporate bonds. And the next thing I did was some of the money I used, I believe I put it in investing with Danelle. I got stocks, mutual funds. And then what else did I do? I did some estate planning stuff. I did some setting up a business stuff. Then I paid off some things. And then I knew that I was getting a certain number of checks. And I decided to go ahead and once I got that last check, I'm like, okay, I put some money aside to just cover my bills until I started getting salary from the new hospital job. And I had to get the things in place, you know, and have enough time for the pension to kick in and all the other things to kick in. So that was kind of what I did. A big part of it was just getting rid of debt. That was probably one of the biggest things. Welcome to Investing with Danelle. I invest small amounts of money over a minimum 10-year horizon using an investment portfolio I started in 2022 with approximately $5,000. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. All right, I am in a sound booth, and I know the lighting isn't that great. Let me just see if I can get some better. I have to leave out of here in 2 minutes, so I feel like it's not even worth it to do the lighting real good. I have about 2 more minutes before I get out of here. I had reserved 30 minutes, and then it was supposed to be an hour, and I realized it was just 30 minutes. Then when I looked on there, somebody had already reserved 11 o'clock, so I just went ahead and reserved 30 minutes. So, well, I reserved an hour, but pretty much all the time is up anyway. So I got 2 more minutes in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. But I said, well, let me just go ahead and film in here. I used to use this space a whole lot when I would do meetings, like 504 meetings, when my cubicle was taken away at the job. So I would do a lot of meetings in here, and yeah, it's completely quiet. It's soundproof, and yeah, so it really definitely came in handy. And it doesn't film too bad if you put lighting on yourself. Like, I've done some interviews in here, but normally I would come in here and get the lighting a little bit better. But I mean, it's okay. It's just kind of like, it's okay. I think you have to put some makeup on and everything, and I don't have any makeup on right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, reset my timer and whatnot. But I did do my investment portfolio update. I had a few things where I had to repeat things, and I realized I hadn't done some of the research, but it actually turned out good because I ended up going and doing some search things about the company. So I think that it'll be good because it'll be more like it's more spontaneous, and I'm getting close to the end of the study and everything. So the two more sectors, and then the December one is going to be a summary of the portfolio and what happened this year. Do I have any goals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's kind of what that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop right now, head to the bathroom, and get back to the car. I mean, the co-working space has been a lifesaver for me, especially that last school year I worked in K through 12, and I decided to keep the membership after. I come over here before work or after work or on the weekend. I teach classes, and I don't come here as much as I used to when I was working the K through 12 job, but certainly whenever I come over here, it's nice. And yeah. Alrighty. I'm on my way to the retail job. I left the retail place. I'm really tired. I need to get straight into the shower. I had to just wipe down and just like so I could feel halfway okay. took off my shirt and just wiped. I just need a shower bath. All right, so I'm going to show you what I got. The total for everything that I got was, before the discount, it was $17. After the discount of 20%, it was $14.69. So I'm going to show you what I got. I got a bento box with a Spider-Man theme. Yep. That's for little man. And the other thing I got him, I got some Spider-Man watches. I got 2 in case he breaks one or loses it. Okay, 2. I just want a, what do I want? I just want to get a lemonade. They were looking at me like, is that it? Yeah, that's it. $3. This person's blowing their horn. Like that's gonna make, this person's blowing their horn like they're gonna make it go faster. Okay. Okay, friend. Mr. Entitled.